jobs and reduces the burden to our residents on a tax-based situation. I can't tell you when we voted on this, the support that we had. You know, you look across this city, and I look across the audience here. You've got people from the east, west, north, and south. You've got every element of the business community that is represented here. Everybody in this community understands how important it is that we go forward. We're in the business today. We are in the convention business. It is one that's important to us. It's important to our city as well as every single other one. Now, there's been an extensive and expensive campaign that's going to be run against it. It's going to provide a lot of misinformation on this. And I guess that's the way you play politics, and that's the way you play special interest. But I'm here to tell you, the interest of this city council, my colleagues that are standing up here, the people that have lived in this city for years and years and decades, we want to see this city go forward. We want to see great things happen, and we feel that's where it's going. Well, I can tell you right now that if we turn our back on the Convention Center Hotel, we're turning our back on the city of Dallas and the future of this city. Each and every one of us have a responsibility to go out there and set the record straight, to go tell the people and the citizens of this city how important this is. As I said, there's going to be a lot of misinformation, but we've got to tell them the truth. People are going to hear, well, why will the city run the hotel? Well, we're not going to run the hotel. There's going to be competent people, an Omni, a Marriott, a professional operator that's going to run it. We're simply going to own the structure. And I got to tell you, this isn't unusual. American Airlines said we invest in that, but we're not in the hockey business. We're not in the basketball business. But look at what's happened out in that area. That was a $16 million wasteland 8 years ago. Today, it's $3.8 billion worth of tax value, and it is an area that the world is looking on and saying exciting things are happening in Dallas. Another question, why would the city finance and own the hotel? That's really simple. Because cities, Dallas and cities all across this nation, could do tax-exempt financing. That's why every single one of our competitors has a convention center hotel. That $1 billion asset I told you about, we're uncompetitive today. You heard it. You can see it by looking at what's happening in our competition. You can look at it by talking to our customers, or you can look at it by how we have to subsidize the convention center hotel. 5 years ago, we didn't have to. Today, we have to. If we don't understand that the convention center hotel is part of the convention center, is part of the investment, then that's what's going to happen. We'll continue to have to subsidize that. The taxpayers of Dallas simply don't deserve that. You know, other cities have done it. They finance it the same way that we have. Cities like Houston and Denver and Chicago. They all have a convention center hotel. They finance it the same way because that's the way that you make those things happen. With private ownership, we would have to put hundreds of millions of dollars into this. Again, that's not fair to the taxpayers. And then you'll also hear, what is the risk? Well, let's understand that. Now, while Dallas taxpayers will ultimately be responsible for the debt, the financing will be structured with several stopgaps in place, including $50 million worth of reserves. So if tourism takes another 9/11 hit, those reserves will all be tapped out before the taxpayers do. As I said, today we're funding the convention center hotel. That's what we've got to look at in the future. If we don't have a competitive convention center, then we're going to continue to subsidize that. And that's going to come out of the wallets of every single citizen here in the city of Dallas. The risk is not going forward. That's the biggest risk the city of Dallas has. Probably the best question is, shouldn't the private sector build this? And I got to tell you, that's a question that I understand. I haven't been in this business very long. I've been on the private sector, and I tell you, I would love to have the private sector do everything. But I can tell you we can adhere to a philosophical approach like that. And if we do, then we're going to continue to see Dallas go backwards. And we're going to see cities like Frisco and Phoenix and Denver they're going to continue to get the jobs. They're going to continue to get our tax base. So it's real simple. We can take a philosophical approach, or we can understand that in today's world, public-private partnerships are what pushes cities forward. You're seeing it all over the nation today. Our decision simple. Take the philosophical bet, stand back, and watch the world go by. Or understand where reality is today. Go forward with the Convention Center Hotel. And in doing that, build a tax base and jobs for the future. That's what reality is. And final question might be, won't this hurt other hotels? They will offer some competition, sure. But the other hotels are going to benefit. Tom said that better than anybody. He said that when the Convention Center draws 30,000 people, only so many of those are going to stay in a 1,200-room hotel. In fact, you see cities like Denver. In those cities, when they built it, the city hotels have performed much better than the Convention Center Hotel. You know, it's interesting when you look at Denver, with all that was said, they're building 4 new private hotels downtown. Because that Convention Center Hotel that they built, that's putting in business. And then you're seeing private sector investment follow right in, and that's what all of us want to have happen. You know, in fact, the city-owned Convention Center Hotel has been such a good deal for competitors that I want to end with some quotes. These are quotes from mayors that I know. They're good mayors. They want to see their cities do well. I want to see Dallas do better. Denver Mayor John Hickenlooper. When private sponsorship fell away, the city of Denver concluded that public support for our new Convention Center Hotel was both necessary and justified to bring this catalytic project into reality. While there are many in our community who expressed legitimate concerns at the time, it is now almost universally regarded as an important strategic move that not only benefited our new convention center, but also stimulated growth in Denver's other downtown hotels. Now, the next quote is from a gentleman that I have an awful lot of respect for. But it's a city that 10 years ago couldn't hold a candle to the convention center business stuff. Sorry to say that it's beating us, and that's too bad. It's from Houston Mayor Bill White. He said, quote, "The Health Americas Hotel has been a very big success in moving Houston into this top tier of convention venues in the country. The average occupancy has increased more than 70% since it was opened in 2003. And the hotel has consistently paid off its share of bonds and returned almost $12 million. Let me repeat that. $12 million to our Convention Entertainment Facilities Department to reinvest in capital projects in the city of Houston. It has been a winner for Houston. You know, you learn in this business that you don't satisfy 100% of the people. There's always somebody off on the side for whatever reason that they have. But this project is going to make a difference. Think back to the late 60s when people said, you know, that's a big risk. We don't want to take it. We already have airports. Why should we worry? Tell me what we would be like today if we didn't have a TSA. And then again, think back to only 8 years ago, $16 million of polluted site. We were willing to go forward and make an investment in our city. That investment today is called Victory. And is propelling growth in the downtown area. It's an investment that's making a difference. We cannot turn our back on the Convention Center Hotel. We cannot turn our back on the city of Dallas today, and we can't turn our back tomorrow. There's too much at stake. We are too good. We need to have faith in our city, because if we do, then we're going to have the finest city in America. This is an investment in the future. It is one that's critical. It is now time to build the hotel.